What's up? You guys ready to get better? You ready to learn how to sell more? You want some skills? Well, I'm going to give you some skills right here, right now. And it's something that we all need to kind of reset our minds on. I need you to remember this. I need you to maybe even write this down if you've got a sword and a shield nearby. It's not about you talking about your solutions. It's not about you talking about your solutions, your product, your service, okay? It's about the prospect, the customer, the person on the other side of the conversation talking about their problems. Far too often in our sales career and far too often with a lot of that garbage sales training, everything is focused around how can I talk about my solution? How can I have 452 ways to talk about how I can help you? Okay, and how great my product is and how great we are and how great my company is, and let me walk you through the history of my organization. Okay, people don't want to hear you talk, they want to talk themselves, and this is a cathartic experience. The more we can get them out of their mouth, this area of the face, to talk about their problems, not only are we going to understand those problems a lot better and be able to skillfully articulate a solution, but guess what? Bonus, they're going to understand their problems a lot better. And they're going to have support in wanting to solve them. Far too often, if we don't let them sit with the problem, they don't see the value in solving it. So we need to get them to talk about the problem. Way easier said than done. Because the minute we hear of a problem, what do we start to do? Oh my gosh, I can solve that. This is great. You're terrific. And we squeeze that customer until the head pops off. All right, so I want to walk you guys through some skill sets that you can do right here, right now that will help keep that other person talking. I'm going to ask for a volunteer to unmute themselves. I want you to talk about a problem that's going on in your life. I don't even care if it's a business problem. Could be a personal problem. What is a problem that you have going on in your life that is frustrating you right now, that you're comfortable talking in front of the Easton University student body, that you're comfortable talking about in front of other members? Does somebody want to unmute themselves and tell me what is the problem you've got going on that's frustrating you right now?
It's a business problem.
It's a business problem?
So it's dealing with prospects that you've been through, your process with them, monetization, you've gone through the whole 9 yards, things have gone well. They get to the point where it makes sense to sign the contract. I'll give you an example of one. It's happened throughout my career, and it's so frustrating because you get to that point, you just need one last piece of information from them, and they take forever getting it to you. It's just one piece. I got the contract ready. Mike, it's ready to go. I just need to know how many users you want. Mike says, I guess I got to talk to my team leader, get the information to you tomorrow. Great, Mike, I'll call you at the end of the day. I haven't heard from you. Call me end of the day. What's your number that you need on the contract, Mike? Don't hear from them. Don't hear from them for 2 weeks. I poke my nose in saying, hey, Mike, ready to go. Everything's ready. Just need that number from you. A month went by in this one particular instance, but it happened before. He finally gets me the number. He sits on the contract with the number for another 2 weeks. The contract finally comes in, and all of a sudden it's, hurry up, I need this done yesterday. And he's like, I got pressure, Matt. We got to get this thing done. And I'm thinking, trying to keep my cool.
Yeah, what's taking you so long?
No wonder you're under pressure. You've been sitting on your hands for a freaking month, dude. And now you're coming at me with guns a-blazing saying, hey, I need this done yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating as hell to try and keep my cool. Because I feel like I've done my job. I've been waiting for you. I got my team ready to go. Right? You're in our slot for implementation. And so, yeah, I find it really frustrating.
It sounds like you're doing everything on your part, and the customer's kind of switching the whole table. I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait. And then all of a sudden, they're acting like they've been waiting this whole time and you're supposed to instantly deliver.
Yeah, the ball's been in their court, and then when they finally get back to me, it's, I'm under pressure, we got to go, 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 go.
Yeah, can you
I have a hard time keeping it cool, because again, I've been the one waiting around, trying to keep in touch with them and keep the ball rolling. We're ready, we're ready, we're ready. And then when we don't hop to it after a month of their silence, it's not that they get angry and aggressive, but it's just they seem to be surprised when we can't jump right to their requests, and they don't seem to realize that, yeah, well, the month that you've been sitting there waiting, we've had 4 other customers come on board. So, no, I can't do this for you tomorrow.
And they're surprised?
Yeah, a lot of times they do seem surprised.
Have you ever ran into a situation, can you give me a specific example of a situation where it's essentially crickets on the other end, they've ghosted you, they've ghosted you, and then suddenly phones ring, Matt, we need this up, we need it running, we need it yesterday, and as you said, they're surprised. Can you give me a specific example of this either costing you the deal because you can't implement, or costing you profitability on the deal because now you have to move a bunch of stuff around at your expense to make it happen, or the deal just doesn't go off the way that you want it to go off?
Yeah, it's never costed us a deal. But in a lot of cases, it's taken time to smooth things over. You never want to start a relationship on the wrong foot. So I often get calls from our implementation team saying, what's the deal with this company? Because they come in with their backs up, and it's just not a great way to start a relationship. So it takes some time to smooth it over, and we've been pretty successful at it. So short answer, no, we've never lost a deal from it, but some of them can start off pretty rocky.
Has the relationship...
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on one second. Let me finish and then I'll let you jump in.
Yeah.
Has the relationship with the implementation team ever been stressed?
Yeah, it starts off stressed.
Who takes the brunt of that stress?
Well, I try to redirect it to me, because they'll often, call me up. I try to stay involved at the beginning transition, and then the handoff happens. So they typically come to me saying, we're having a real problem with this implementation because, they're being really super pushy and wanting to get things done. We're trying to fit them in our schedules. We're having a hard time doing it. And so then I try to circle back and reach back out and be the one to, be the face of the organization, because I've had the first relationship with them. So I try to direct it at me, but it first happens to implementation, really.
How much time do you think you're spending unnecessarily, let's call it de-escalating the situation with the implementation team because of these clients' unrealistic expectations?
With these ones, and I will say it's few and far between, these ones really are the exception, but how much time? Well, sometimes it can be a few hours, like spread over a few calls and extra meetings to get their group at the table and our group at the table.
So
to try and reset expectations.
You've got to do extra meetings because of this. So meetings where if the deal had gone off, now you're having to do extra things to put fires out. So it seems like, it feels like when they're rushing it, not only are you having to do the work you would have originally had to do, not only are you having to do the meetings you would have originally had to do, but when these deals don't get closed and they ghost you and then rush you, you're having to do extra meetings, extra work, extra time. Fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair statement.
Let's pause right here. Okay? How much do I know about your situation, Matt? A lot. A ton.
A lot, okay.
I think in this particular instance, what you're frustrated with, what's going on, I can articulate it down to a T, right? You're doing all of the work. You're very skillful in your sales process. You're asking them if it makes sense to sign the contract. They're saying yes. And now all of a sudden there's something going on where there's a breakdown in them actually signing the contract. Because of this breakdown, this is messing you up this way. Number one, your forecasting is way off the mark because you don't know, you're not a mind reader, is this person a dead deal, or is this the crazy, they're ghosting me and they're going to come back? Which you now have to be prepared, all hands on deck. These 11 deals that we don't think are going to come in, 3 of them might come in. When they do come in, customer's going to pretend like there was no time there, right? Now they're going to hit you. We got to go yesterday. Your labor rates have changed. Things have changed. Your specs have changed. By the way, your implementation team is working on the other projects that did what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it. They get frustrated, Matt, they're coming to you. You're having to do extra meetings, a few hours each time you're having to get this. I know your situation like this. Now, we talked about giving you some tools, giving all of us some tools. All I did, if you guys were noticing during that conversation, is I mirrored you a few hours, right? Another one that I mirrored you on was, they're surprised, and you kept talking, okay? So mirroring. Mirroring is just repeating the last 1 to 4 words, or a select set of 1 to 4 words that the person said, okay? I also labeled about 6 different times. Sounds like bop, 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 bop. Seems like bop, 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 bop. Feels like you're having to do actually extra meetings on top of the meetings that you would have done before with a reasonable amount of time compressed. Another Easton University tool that I used probably twice, when you say blank, can you give me a specific example? I also used, can you give me a specific example of this either costing you deals, making your deals disrupted, or stressing the relationship? You told me it's not necessarily costing me deals, however, blank, 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 okay? How much do you know about my ability to solve this problem from the dialogue that we just had? 0. How much do you know about the problems that I'm having at my company? 0. How much do you know about my bad relationships that I've had with my implementation team? 0. And that's the point of today's coaching session. It's not about you guys talking about your solution. It's not about you guys saying, I want you to be empathetic. I want you to empathize with them and understand their situation, but you haven't even earned the right to say you're even in the neighborhood of empathy. If the minute Matt goes, man, clients are ghosting me, and you say, man, clients ghost me too, or worse, man, I can solve that problem for you. That is gross, that is disgusting, and that is traditional sales training. We are not traditional sales training at Easton University, okay? We're skillful sales training. And when we slow the process down in the beginning, we will speed up the result in the end, okay? I could have let you talk for another 10 minutes, and I would have if this was a sales conversation, and we would have gotten into the monetization of it, okay? But I need you guys to realize this. Get them to talk about their problems. Don't be afraid to say things like, what is it about the onboarding process that's frustrating you right now? When you say you guys need an app, what's your biggest reason for wanting an app? And so many of us are so afraid to ask that question because we have this stupid thing that pops up on our shoulder, this little demon that's like, don't ask them what's the most important reason why they need sales coaching, because they'll tell you, well, now that I realize it, I don't know why I scheduled this meeting with you, Matt. I don't need sales coaching, right? Which even if they did say that, you know that's not true, and you could just say, if you were to need sales coaching, what do you think you'd need it on? Probably follow-up. Why do you say that? Because it doesn't work. Can you give me some specific examples of how it's not working for you? Yeah, I leave about 14 messages a day and nobody ever calls me back. Nobody calls you back? Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much given up on follow-up. You've given up on follow-up, right? Seems like you're having to essentially close all your deals on the first conversation or hope that they somehow come around and see the error in their ways and purchase from you. That sounds like you're losing a lot of deals in the middle. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair statement. How many of your deals that aren't closing in the first call or miraculously come out of nowhere, how many of those deals in the middle that go away, do you think if you were able to somehow keep a dialogue going with them, you'd be able to close? Oh, I'd probably be able to do about 6 more deals a month. How much do you make on a deal? $8,000. Right? Now we're able to monetize. But you guys have to slow down and not jump into, well, we're masters at follow-up. I can show you a very simple, skillful system. Within 28 seconds, you can leave a follow-up message, and there's a 700% more likelihood that that person will call you back. That's all true with Easton University. 28-second message. Hey, Matt, it's Matt Easton, Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to get your team access to the sales coaching. I'm on my mobile, 720-660-3202. Okay? I'm not going into that. I'm going to allow you to keep talking about this problem. Guys, can you see how this is helpful? Has anybody in the group started using mirroring? Have you started using labeling? Have you delved into the realm of, Bob, when you say blank, can you give me a specific example of what you mean? Or when you say XYZ, can you give me a specific example of that happening? And allowing that person to talk. Who's had some success with this? If you work in sales and you need to make twice as much money as you do right now to really enjoy your life, you've really only got 3 options. Option number 1, you can continue to work your butt off in the job you have right now, hoping for some sort of miracle to happen, where you start taking home double the money while doing things the exact same way you do them right now. That's pretty unlikely. Or option number 2, you can look for another job at a totally different company, hoping you're going to catch some sort of once-in-a-lifetime wave where sales just seem to flow your way. All right, again, highly unlikely, and we both know waves in sales, well, they don't last very long. Or option number 3, you can click the button here and get instant access to a simple, straightforward sales process that will help you take home twice as much money as you do right now while putting in far less effort than you do today. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University, the most effective sales coaching system in the world. If you click the button, you're going to see how our interactive sales coaching portal and weekly live coaching sessions with me will help you double your income within 60 days. Easton University is more than an interactive sales coaching portal. It's more than being able to ask me questions in a live setting every single week. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the button. I will see you on the other side. Your life is about to get a lot better. Click through now.